What's up, guys? So recently I was able to get out and test some more cavity back bullets at the 300-yard range. Got the 168 grain bullet here and the 125 grain bullet here. As you can see, they both expanded beautifully, so let's get to that footage. Alright guys, so let's take a quick look at the ballistic tables and compare these two rounds. So we got the 168 on top. You can see velocity is 2650 feet per second at the muzzle. 125 grain down below, 3115. So the 125 is starting out, it was at 465 feet per second faster. Now energies, the 125 does have a little bit more energy with that extra velocity, so we're just over 2600 foot-pounds with the 168 and almost at 2700 foot-pounds with the 125. Now 125 is definitely going to be a little bit flatter if you look, so you look at 200-yard drops with a 100-yard zero, 3.66 for the 168, where you're at 2.43 with the 125, so less drop there. Now let's go at the 300 yards where we were shooting a gel. So the 168 has dropped down to 2167 feet per second. The 125 is at 2250. So even though it started out 465 feet per second faster, that 125 is now only about 100 feet per second faster. Now let's take a look at the energies. We are at 1750 for the 168, 1405 with the 125. So that 168 started out a little bit less energy, but now at 300 yards we have 350 foot-pounds more energy. So that's where the heavier bullets with that higher ballistics coefficient helps you. Now if you look at the drops at 300, that 125 is still flying flatter because it's got that velocity. So you got about 3 inches more drop with the 168, but you have more energy. So anyway, one thing I do want to note is Cavity Back just came out with a new version of the 125s that have a ballistic tip, which increases the BC from 0.32 to 0.36. So it should make a little bit of a difference. I haven't ran the numbers yet to see how much, but I figured I'd just throw that out there for you guys. Right here, one bullet hit high and flew out, but right here, this nice wound channel is that 168 cavity back, which stopped almost through the back of the second block. Then here, 124 gram hammer hunter here, and I hit just next to it. It's hard to tell because the gel block's a little dirty, but I hit right next to it with the 125 cavity back, and it opened up pretty quick. Fortunately, it veered out of the side of this gel block. It did hit the second block, but it shot out the side of this one too. So that bullet is lost in the snow somewhere, but you can tell by the wound channel it definitely expanded. It would be nice if I could find it, but I doubt I'm going to find it in all of this snow. Alright, so I'm getting real lucky today, guys. The board right there had the gel on it, so I kind of eyed up the board and looked this way and thought, alright, if that 125 MKZ flew out to the left, do I see any marks in the snow? And you see that mark right there. It's going, and look, right here on the top of the snow. I can't believe that. That is real lucky. I guess it wasn't going too fast after going through a whole block of gel. Alright, so again, I'll see you guys when I get home and I can check these blocks out some more. Alright guys, so let's take a look at those wound channels from the cavity back bullets. The 168 and the 125 grain MKZ. 168 came in here, huge wound channel, carried, it's still big at the end of this block, went all the way through and stopped just at the end of this second block, almost made it all the way out. So looking at about 30.5 inches at the front of that bullet. Now I actually tried to test the 168 a few weeks ago, the same day I was testing the 124 hammer hunter. And I took 2 shots at the gel. One shot hit low and hit the wood that the gel was sitting on. So if you look, you can see here that wound channel down there is full of wood. That's why the block has wood fragments everywhere. Now that bullet I have here hit the wood, still expanded, shed some petals, kept one. Then I took a second shot, and it's hard to tell, but it's way down back there, but you can kind of see it in the back. It just penciled through. That bullet actually didn't expand, which was very weird to me because I used the 168s this year hunting, and I shot a deer at 300 yards, and it dropped in its tracks. Absolutely massive damage, and it was kind of a far back shot. And I also shot another deer at 120 yards, again, dropped in its tracks. So I'll show you guys some pictures of the carnage at the end of the video. I'll give you a little heads up in case you don't want to see the blood and guts. You can turn off the video. But anyway, back to the gel. The 125 grain hammer, or MKZ, hit here. Very close to the hammer hunter. Went through here. Ended up going out the side of the block, but because the blocks were a little bit crooked after shooting it with the 168, it did actually make it into the second block. Went through here and exit out the side before I found it in the snow like I was showing you guys. So right now with the 168, I got 2 shots in gel that expanded, 1 shot that didn't expand, but on a live deer expanded. So the 1 bullet that didn't expand, I'm thinking is just a fluke. I would have to just shoot 20 of these into gel and make sure it never happens again. But I did have that one instance where it didn't expand, which is weird. But this one looked like it performed perfect, and it performed perfect in the field. Anyway, I wanted to just share that with you guys. So let me dig this out and we can get a better look at them. All right, got these 2 bullets out of the gel. So we got the 168 on the right here and the 125 on the left. Being monolithics, weight retention should be good, but we'll measure anyway. As you can see, this thing has beautiful expansion with those 3 petals. The only thing that should be missing is the ballistic tip. So 167.4, so perfect weight retention. Now this one, the 125, did shed a little. This one petal kind of broke off a little bit. Definitely did not expand as much as the 168. 119.4, so lost 5.5 grains from that petal. So if you compare them here, you can see the 168 is still longer. I think the length is what gives it that extra expansion. The petals are just bigger. For close range work with the AR-10 with the short barrel, I might use the 125s, but for everything else, I'm sticking with the 168s. So I'll do a little bit of measuring. So we got 0.708, 702, 706. This way. 6.7, so awesome. That's massive expansion for 300 yards. 125, 5.6, 5.5, so just under 2 times diameter expansion. Still good for this light bullet at 300 yards. I'm still very surprised that the 1 bullet I shot, the 168, did not expand. I'm chalking that up as a fluke. I've shot a ton of deer with cavity backs, and I've never had a failure. I've shot about 12 with my 6.8 SPC. This year I took 2 with this 168, and my brother got the one with the 125, and I've never seen any failures. So I don't know. Being a CNC machine bullet, I don't know if the machine could have just screwed up one. Was it something with the ballistic tip? But something happened. It would be tempting not to tell you guys about it, but I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not going to hide the fact that there was 1 bullet failure. So at this point, I'm going to show you guys the results of the deer I shot. So it's going to be a little bit graphic. If you don't want to see any bloody pictures, then turn the video off now, and thanks for watching. If you do want to see that stuff, then just keep watching.